Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 Paws and Claws run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing another character that benefits tremendously from the addition of the pets, the creature. The creature gets weapon damage scaling with curse. The more curse you have, the more damage each of your weapons do. That's why you usually want to use a fast-firing weapon like submachine gun in order to apply that curse scaling. The pets also benefit from this curse damage scaling. So because we get extra damage as we get curse, our pets are just going to keep getting stronger. Every wave we'll be getting more curse, we'll be buying more cursed items, and it's going to make the pets a really powerful addition. They also don't care about losing range at all because they aren't affected by range, so one of the creature's penalties doesn't affect the pets. I've done a lot of creature runs with SMG, so I'm going to try a different weapon. I think I'm going to go with Icicle. This is a really fun weapon that I haven't used in a while, so I just want to play an Icicle run. Also, one of the nice things about creature with Icicle, I think, even though it's a slow-firing weapon, so it doesn't have some of the synergies that you're normally looking for, is that the worst thing about elemental weapons is usually buying elemental damage. Which you often buy with sort of weak items at a poor rate, because the creature's weapons scale with curse instead of, well, in addition to the normal stat, we don't have to spend money on buying elemental damage, so we just get this very powerful weapon without having to spend on it like you normally would. We'll take 5 harvesting here, and then I'm going to lock the baby gecko. A cursed baby gecko is pretty powerful. It can also offset the range penalty. I don't think we need the turret, and I am going to save my bands for level 2 because I want to get as many I want to get as many pets as possible, of course. So we're going to roll here. We'll buy some icicles. A little unlucky that we didn't roll into another one so we could lock one. It's always nice to be able to lock weapons early on the creature, since you do, of course, have the fishhook. So locking stuff is very powerful, but you would rather just buy your weapons and make sure that you're clearing the wave. There will be plenty of time to find cursed weapons later. The creature also, somewhat counterintuitively, doesn't really need cursed weapons, because one of the main things that cursing weapons gives you is increased damage scaling, and you're mostly not going to be building damage, since you get damage from your curse anyways. A roll here, and although I was looking for harvesting, if you find 10% attack speed early, you should just grab it. So we're going to go ahead and take that, and then we'll do a reroll. Note, no value from fishhook here, and we're going to roll again. I'm looking for another icicle to lock, so that hopefully, if the fishhook decides that it wants to show up to work, then we can get a cursed weapon. The more curse you get earlier, the better, of course, on this character. Cursed items scale extremely well with themselves, because the more curse you have, the more likely more cursed items are to appear. And on the creature, it is possible to fall behind, because all the enemies are going to be cursed pretty quickly. You're going to end up with a lot of curse. And so if you aren't finding cursed items to have the power to be able to kill those cursed enemies, you can actually kind of get in trouble. Sharp Bullet is a little interesting on the Icicle. Icicle has 1 pierce normally, and decreasing the damage that you do per piercing shot is pretty bad. If we buy the Sharp Bullet here, it also means that we can never get a cursed Sharp Bullet. On the other hand, extra piercing is just very, very powerful, so I'm going to take it here anyways. Let's roll and roll again. I'm looking for harvesting, and I will take 5 harvesting over 6 movement speed, I think, and then we'll roll one more time and pick up 5 more harvesting. We will classic fishhook. We'll buy the icicle here, and I guess I'll buy these 2 items that we have. Plant, I'm gonna lock. This, although we might want lifesteal with ranged weapons, this weapon fires pretty slowly, so regen is still going to be pretty good, and I also really just want to lock some stuff, so I'm going to roll a few times and lock. We would love to use our 35% pity bonus, which we have because the fishhook has decided to really let us down today. But, you know, it's a video I'm recording, so that's not surprising. Got to kill the loot alien really fast, or the lamprey really fast. Now I'm looking for these curse aliens, We really want to kill those as quickly as we can as well. Very important to kill the curse aliens when you're playing this character, since your damage scales with curse. You need to get it as much as you can. Here, we'll take 8 harvesting, going up to 20 harvesting. Okay, well, we got a pet. It's not the pet that I was looking for, unfortunately. I'll take both of these. I think I will lock the Wandering Bot. If it gets cursed, it gives you bonus move speed, which is really nice. And it's a level 3 item, so if it gets cursed, it just gives you a lot of curse, which is really powerful as well. We'll buy the Celery Tea. I'll take Claw Tree. We want crit chance on this character, so even though it's a fairly inefficient way of buying it, we're still gonna pick it up. And then I'm gonna reroll here. Do I lock the book? I think not. I was looking for more icicles, which we also didn't find. I will say we've gotten a little unlucky in our shops. The fish hook is underperforming quite a bit, and we aren't finding that many icicles. Icicle is a somewhat hard weapon to find in general, because it has multiple weapon tags, so it has elemental and precise weapon tags, and precise is a pretty big weapon tag, so there's a lot of other weapons that have increased likelihood to show up as well as the icicle. Typically easier to find weapons from really small weapon tags because of the way that the shop generates your items. But we're still making pretty good money and things are going relatively well. I'm going to roll here. We'll take 7 crit chance and then 9 max HP. Max HP can be a challenge on this character as well. Because you level slower, since you lose XP every wave, you will get a lot fewer defensive stats than most characters would. The Celery Tea, I was really hoping this would get cursed. Reducing the double health enemies to like 60% extra health usually makes it much easier, but Celery Tea is so good on the creature because it removes your XP gain loss entirely that we're just going to buy it right away here. We'll take the eye surgery, and I'm going to lock all of these. I think I will reroll one more time. We're still guaranteed to see one weapon in the shop, at least, on wave 5, so it could be an icicle. Once again, was not, but at least we have 3 items locked for our fish hook. Also, we got the cursed Wandering Bot, so you can see it gives us extra move speed, which is great. And slowing enemies isn't super important, usually, but not terrible, given that we're an icicle build, so keeping enemies at bay is going to be somewhat important. And we got it relatively early and for relatively cheap, so the Wandering Bot's going to be pretty nice. It's also providing quite a lot of curse for us, which means more damage as well as better stats in general. I would love to find increased piercing damage to offset the damage loss on the Sharp Bullet, but we are still killing more stuff than we would be otherwise because we're piercing through 2 enemies now. I'll take the armor here, fish hook once again, doing a real classic fish hook performance. I'm gonna ban the dynamite. I do want to use my bans mostly on level 2 items to try to find pets more, but banning dynamite gave us a free reroll there, so it made it more likely that we found a pet just because we could have rolled into one. And also, you're not going to be able to use, if you're saving your bans for level 2, you're not going to be able to use all of them early in the run when they're most relevant. So using them strategically to get free rerolls here and there is still pretty good. So because we've gotten a little unlucky on finding curse, our damage is a little lower than it would be normally. On the creature, typically you're going to get lots of free damage scaling just by finding cursed items, but because our fish hook has been missing a few times, we are a little behind on damage output. I'd love to find a pet as well, because that could help us clear all these enemies. But we're doing very well in terms of clear speed still, so I'm not worried about it. Just need to fix that as we go. Let's re-roll here, and we'll take 15 attack speed. Attack speed is so important for this weapon and for this character. Cursed Icicle is great. I am going to buy the fish hook. Obviously, we would love to have another cursed fish hook, but as you've seen, waiting around for the fish hook to do stuff is not always the winning strategy. A Ratzilla. So this is a pet, and you can see it does a lot of damage. Normally the damage scaling on the Ratzilla isn't amazing. 10% of your health is just not that much. But because it's also scaling with our curse, the Ratzilla is doing quite a lot here. Do I want to try to curse this? I think not. I think I'm just going to buy the Ratzilla. We'll lock the Claw Tree, and we'll roll. Lock a Scar. I have 4 regen. I'll lock the Weird Ghost, and I will throw in 1 more reroll, and very happy that I did, because I get to lock another item. With double Fishhook, getting to lock 4 things in the shop is really important. Also, we now have a Cursed Icicle, which is going to be doing quite a bit more damage. Our rat does a lot of damage, so it's just running off and killing those cursed anglerfish. The really nice thing, too, about the rat is that it's killing the anglerfish without activating them. So normally when you get too close to them, they start charging. But because the rat isn't turning them on, it... phrasing, I guess. Because the rat isn't activating them, the anglerfish are a lot less dangerous here. Given their reproductive habits, that's what you really don't want to be doing that with an anglerfish. Don't look that up. I'm going to pick up 25% XP gain here. XP gain, of course, very powerful on this character, and we've now offset our penalty entirely. I do need to fix the luck that we've lost, but the black belt there is really good. Also, knockback is pretty good on this weapon. We'll take the penguin as well. Cursed penguin is amazing. And then here I'm just going to take 3 armor. It would be a rare time when 3 armor showed up at a level 3 upgrade where I wasn't interested in taking it. We'll take the tentacle. That's another good way to heal. And then I'll buy the weird ghost. I only have 6 regen, but I also have a tentacle. So we do benefit quite a bit from buying the weird ghost, and we should be able to heal back up pretty quickly. Here, I'm again just going to buy the fishhook. We could try to get this cursed, but it's more important that I just get value right away. Unfortunately, pretty bad shop here, but we'll lock the Terrified Onion because I do need more movement speed. So you can see we're getting a decent amount of health back. We've got enough regeneration, and we have the tentacle and decent crit chance on a precise weapon, so we're getting quite a bit of healing. Obviously, we would love to buy Hunting Trophy if we could find one. That would be one of the ways to boost my economy enormously. Black Flag would be incredible for this character. We haven't found too many really high-tier economy items, honestly. We haven't found Bag or Coupon or anything like that. Fertilizer. But we have found triple fishhook, so hard to complain about economy items because we have found 3 of the best. Well, we found 2 of them. You start with 1. Always super important to kill the curse aliens when you're playing this character, the creature, because you get damage scaling from curse, and the more curse you have, the better. It means that you will be able to stay ahead of the scaling on enemies because your cursed items will keep you powerful. I'm going to take 6 movement speed here. I do need a little more. I would like some lifesteal as well, so I think I will just take the 2 lifesteal here, and then we'll take 2 armor. We finally got some weapon levels. That's great, and we did get a cursed item. Do I want to upgrade to a level 3 icicle here? Because we could get a cursed level 3. I think I am just going to combine to level 2s. It's usually really important to get all of your weapons to level 2. And here, I'm similarly just going to buy this icicle, and we'll buy both the bat and the plant. A little weird, obviously, to increase my regen and lifesteal and then reduce it, but we just want as much total healing as possible. And then I'm going to ban the snake here, and then roll, and we'll lock both of these. I'll do a reroll again. Losing an elemental damage on the butterfly, unfortunately, I don't think we can do. But we'll roll and we'll lock both of these items. You can see here, we haven't really had a chance to ban any bad level 2 items. So that has made the pets a little less likely to appear. But we keep finding good level 2 items that we want to buy. Though now that I've gotten Fishhook out of the pool, that's basically 1 item banned. Because we have the maximum of 3 fishhooks. Of course, very important to kill the blobfish when you're playing this character, because you get curse aliens out of them. Though, with a ranged weapon, it can be a little scary, since you also get 4 lampreys. The lampreys will often spawn cursed, since you'll have really high curse when playing the creature. Got another curse alien kill, got a crate from that tree, which is great. Yeah, we'll take the Peaceful Bee. We don't care about losing melee or ranged damage. I could take 3 elemental damage here. It would help increase the base damage of my weapons a little bit. I think I will take that, and then I'll just go ahead and take 3 more armor. I could roll for attack speed, but armor's really powerful here. We did get an attack speed item cursed in the shop, which is great as well. I'll roll here. Do I want another black belt? Probably. And I think I'm going to re-roll past all the rest of these. We will buy the cute monkey, and then we could buy not. It would be very powerful, of course, but I just dislike this item, so we're going to pass on it. And we'll lock the leather vest as well. Not is an item that occupies an unfortunate space, I think, because it's really strong, and usually it's like almost always right to buy it when you see it. It's just super efficient stats, and the penalty sounds big, but basically means nothing for most runs. Just not buying more weapon upgrades, you just spend that money on other stuff instead. But when you're recording for YouTube, you really do want to be able to buy cool legendary weapons and stuff that show up, so I'm not buying the knot. Nice, we got a pumpkin. That's massive, given that we bought the sharp bullet. We'll take 7 more crit chance as well, and then here I'm gonna re-roll, and I'm tempted by 7 crit chance, so our weapons here have, 54%, 59%, so more crit chance is pretty powerful. I could also take attack speed, which might actually be a bigger increase to our DPS, just more attack speed, but I'll take the level 3 upgrade, because obviously it's harder to get those. We'll roll here. Really nice shop for us, obviously. Amazing. I'll wait to buy the lure until next wave. If we get it cursed, then 4 items come out of it, which is awesome. And I don't really want to try to fight the elite and kill the loot aliens at the same time. Weird food, I think, is going to help more than the fresh meat for this next wave, so I'm going to buy that and lock the fresh meat there. I'll lock the icicle, and Cog would be an ideal item to ban, ideal level 2 item to ban, but unfortunately it spawned cursed, so I kind of have to buy it. You really need to buy every cursed item that you see when you're playing this character. So, not unfortunate that it spawned cursed, but it does mean that we aren't going to get to ban a level 2 item. I'm curious how much damage our rat did there. It seemed like it did a decent amount. The rat has been performing pretty well. I need to move so that it is not near me, though. Oh, nice. We got a loot alien spawn, even though we didn't buy lure. Because when the rat is near me, it's often aggroing to enemies that we're killing anyways and not doing anything. But when it's on the other side of the map from me, it's actually doing a lot of extra damage. Another curse alien kill, very important as well. Get this tree. So we made good money that wave, and we got a level 4 item. Grind's Magical Leaf, an amazing item to find. Wave 12. This is so many free stats. And this is the ideal pet to have found, the Catling gun. this shoots really fast, just like a submachine gun, and benefits from our curse damage scaling. So this is going to do an absurd amount of damage, the Catling gun. We're going to take it for sure. Here, I'll take some attack speed. Really nice to get another cursed weapon, so we'll go ahead and buy that. I'm going to combine here. It shouldn't accidentally eat your curse, but I'm always paranoid because once or twice I've had the cursed weapon combine with the other cursed weapon and really ruin my day. Sadly, the lure didn't get cursed here, but we'll buy it anyways, and then we'll roll. Pearl, I will lock. Coffee, I'll buy. Incendiary Turret doesn't really help us that much at this point. We might have bought it earlier just for a little extra wave clear, but we can just ban it now, and that's a level 2 item out of the pool, and then we'll lock these two. I'll throw in one more reroll, and I'll lock a Boiling Water as well. With triple fish hook, you really just want to lock everything, and although we do get a lot of damage scaling from our curse, the elemental damage is still fine. So yeah, when we're near the cat, it should be doing quite a lot of damage for us. And it doesn't care about our range loss, so you can see it's actually outputting quite a lot of DPS. When we're not near it, it doesn't attack that quickly, so it doesn't do that much on its own. If I could get a loot worm, because the loot worm also makes the cat go nuts, and I think the dogs do as well. That would be pretty nice as well, because then I would be able to have this activated, but without my movement constrained to being next to it. Unlike the Beastmaster, we really don't want to just stay next to the cat all the time. Okay, so we have no real dodge currently, but Ghost Outfit's just a really fun item. Yes, it'll cost me 3 armor. Yeah, we'll have to fix our move speed, but we're going to take the Ghost Outfit anyways. I can't really afford to lose elemental damage, though, so let's recycle the wheat here. I'll take 12 speed, and then... what do I want here? Probably just more crit chance. Crit chance, still very powerful. Really nice to be able to buy all of these. I would have loved if the pearl got cursed because it could make more pearls show up. Since it didn't, do I want to ban pearl? We have negative luck currently. I don't know. I just like pearl. It's just fun. You probably shouldn't buy it there. So I was locking it because if it gets cursed, it's still good even with negative luck. Because the likelihood of getting more free ones from boxes is really high, and we'll be able to fix our luck. Generally speaking, you shouldn't buy it there if it doesn't get cursed, but we just like that item. I'll buy the tentacle for sure, and I'll lock the gambling token because we have the ghost outfit, so I'd like to buy dodge. I do need more percent damage, so I guess we're locking the missile as well. This is a little unfortunate because it's a couple level 2 items that I wouldn't mind banning to make pets more likely to appear, but they're all good items, so we do need to pick them up. The nice thing is we've found enough XP gain that we can get a lot of stat from levels as well, which of course for this character is really powerful. The creature is normally balanced by not getting stats from levels after the first 10 waves or so, but when you find a bunch of XP gain items, and especially Celery Tea, that stops being the case. And then you just get all of the incredible power of this character and none of the downsides. I'll take a turret that shows up for cheap like that. I don't really need more base elemental damage, so I think I would rather pick up attack speed or luck. Lifesteal we're getting for free from the magical leaf, so we don't need to grab that. Alright, I'll take 4 elemental damage. That's too much to pass up on. We'll buy these. I will take the head injury. Since I found the head injury and this didn't get cursed, I think I am banning the missile. It gets me a free reroll, removes a unique from the pool. So there's or removes an item from the pool. So there's a lot of reason to pick that up. We'll lock community support. I don't want to lose elemental damage, so we're going to ban the salt water here, and then we'll do a reroll again. Energy bracelet is really good. Black belt will lock as well, and we're going to roll one more time. Hedgehog, I could lock this for the free reroll if we buy the other 3, but I don't know if we'll actually have the money to buy all of those next wave. So we'll just leave the slot open. That elite's typically pretty easy to fight when you're a ranged character. Do have to be a little bit careful. Cursed pufferfish can be super dangerous still. And we're a ranged damage build, of course. So well, we're a ranged weapon, not a ranged damage stat build. So they will explode. It's so cool that the creatures scale with your curse. Yeah, we'll take the jetpack here. It does cost me an armor, which I wouldn't mind more of, but we actually, because I've prioritized armor pretty heavily, we have a lot of it. We'll buy 9 dodge here, and then I guess I'll take 3 armor when it shows up like that. 3 cursed items, amazing. So good job, Fishhook. We'll take the black belt here and community support, going up to 98 curse. An incredible shop for us with the black flag. Sad tomato, also really good regeneration. And the mutation, if it gets cursed, I'll buy it. If not, I might ban it for the free reroll. Even though it gives us 1 elemental damage, our base weapon damage is so high from the curse scaling, we just don't need elemental damage, really. And it's a pretty expensive way to buy it. That's one of the reasons why elemental weapons can sometimes be a struggle, is that a lot of the ways that you get early elemental damage are really expensive. Things like mutation are just very inefficient items. But often the best ways to get the damage that you need, so you end up spending more money than other builds on the same amount of damage. In part because the elemental weapons are balanced around having the elemental tag giving you 5 flat damage for each of them, which is a lot, so the game has to kind of push back against that. We again don't really need to pick up more healing. We're getting that for free. I'll roll here, and I'm just going to take 8% damage. My percent damage is pretty bad. We'll definitely take the black flag here, and I guess I can buy all of these. The mutation didn't get cursed, so we'll take our free reroll here. We will lock the sunken bell, because it's a level 3 item, and then I'm going to roll again. Whistle, I can buy. Bandana, I don't really need the bandana. We already have additional piercing, and we don't need more than 2 pierce on our weapons, or more on our cursed weapons. So I think I'm going to pass on that. And I'm still hoping to find at least 1 more pet. If we could get the Blazemander, that would be really nice. We should be making a ton of money this wave, though, because we got the black flag. You can see that when we kill one of the blobfish, and of course this wave has a lot of them, it can be pretty dangerous if all of the lampreys spawn cursed, which is not that unlikely, given that we have more than 100 curse at this point. One thing I would like for them to do is tone down the activation noise on the cat. It often happens constantly when you have a lot of pets and stuff, and you're moving in and out of its range, and it's pretty loud. The cape, an incredible find. Cursed cape for +9 more curse. 40% dodge, so it puts us over even our increased dodge cap right away. An amazing find for us. We're going to roll here, and I think I'll take 9 crit chance and then 20 attack speed. I was really hoping to pick up more attack speed. This is another unique item out of the pool, so it's basically like banning stuff. And then we'll roll here. Tyler, I will take the Tyler because it's cursed. We'll lock the icicle, we'll lock the metal. I'll re-roll, and then I'll lock these 2 items as well. Go to wave 18 here. The other thing, too, about this particular build is that we're using a precise weapon with the pets, which is pretty nice because they benefit from crit chance. And we're going to be buying a lot of other stats that they care about. The one thing that we are buying that they don't care about is attack speed. But all of our other damage stats and the crit damage scaling, or the crit chance scaling that we get from our weapon are very powerful. Making a lot more money now that we have the black flag as well. Here, I'm going to re-roll, and we'll take 15% more attack speed, and then we're going to upgrade to a level 4 cursed weapon. We'll buy all of these, up to 23 armor, which is great. I'll lock the regen potion. I will go ahead and buy another icicle level. Campfire, I think I'm just going to ban it. I'm still hoping to find more pets, so I do want to ban other level 2 items, but we'll lock in icicle here as well. Even just the rat has been a really nice addition to this run, though. It's really smooth things out. I'm like really stumbling over my words today. Apologies for that. The Cursed Walrus, their tour resilience really kicking in here. 36 hours on the bus. And we just can't get them to go away. We've got 12% extra damage, and then we'll take 15 luck. So the Pearl definitely did not work out, of course. But we kind of knew that. That's just an item that I bought for fun. I'm going to reroll here, and I'm still just going to look for... Yeah, we'll look for this Blazemander. I think I will take this run a few waves into Endless, because I really want the pets to have a chance to shine. So we're going to buy the Blazemander here, and we'll buy a Celery Tea. Though I should probably not buy the Celery Tea going into the boss wave, so I'm going to lock the Celery Tea. We're close to being strong enough to being able to do this, but I do think it's a little bit too dangerous. I'm going to re-roll here, and we'll buy the Metal Detector, Cursed Icicle, lock this Icicle to try to get that one cursed, and then we'll roll again, buy a Treasure Map and a Toxic Sludge, re-roll again. Garden, do I want the garden, or should I just ban that and try to get some pets? I think I'm just going to ban it, and then I'm just going to re-roll here. Okay, nice, and we did get another Catling Gun. I'll lock a Cyber Ball as well because it's cursed, and then we will go to Endless. Alright, we definitely could have bought the Celery Tea. I was pretty sure we could, but I didn't want to just throw the run. Plus, if we get it cursed, it's way more powerful. So our Blazemander should be doing pretty good damage. Although we haven't been building too much elemental damage, the Blazemander still does benefit from our elemental damage tag. One thing that's interesting about it that I noticed is that the burn damage doesn't scale with our curse. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check that here. Yeah, the burn damage doesn't scale with our curse, even though it does scale with the Beastmaster's damage from all types. So the Beastmaster, the burn damage from the Blazemander scales off of all the damage types because the Beastmaster has that ability for pets. But for the creature, which gets this extra damage scaling, it scales the impact damage, but not the burn damage. Interesting that those two are treated differently. It makes sense to me, but you could see that going either way. We'll take the Sif's Relic here, and nice. Got a Gobbler's Hat. Really rewarded for going into Endless. Some really nice items there. We're over dodge cap, so that's fine. I'm going to reroll here, and I think I'm looking for just attack speed mostly. But I'll take 16% damage as well, a little bit of HP, and then we can go ahead and buy our cursed weapon, cursed celery tea. The Catling gun, sadly not cursed, but still pretty powerful. We'll grab a scared sausage as well. Nice way to set enemies on fire. Let's reroll here, and we will buy an icicle. We'll buy Lucky Charm. Roll again. Loot Worm, great unique. Do I want to try to get this cursed? I don't know how much it's going to be picking up materials for us, so I think I'll just buy it now. Because we have Sif's Relic, so it's going to pull... while it will pull the materials to the Loot Worm, it will also pull a lot of the materials to us. We'll buy the Bone Dice, and we'll lock the Strange Book. We'll roll here. We'll buy we'll lock Corrupted Shard as well. Compass, I don't really want to reduce my crit chance, so we'll pass on that. So, Sif's Relic, as long as the materials aren't in your pickup radius when they spawn, it will pull the materials to the Loot Worm. So I could have gotten more money by trying to curse the Loot Worm. With Triple Fishhook, we could have held out until it got cursed, probably. And that could give us like 5% more material drops. For really long Endless runs, that's going to be part of the strategy from now on, of course, because it's just yet another way to boost your economy. Though for really, really long Endless runs, you end up with infinite pickup radius, so the Loot Worm will eventually stop picking up materials. I'll take some more movement speed, and let's roll again, and we'll take 12% damage. We'll grab Pocket Factory, mostly just to pull it out of the pool, but we do have the Strange Book and some elemental damage, so the Pocket Factory will end up doing some extra damage here. I don't really need more healing at this point, so let's roll past all of this. I'll take the Greek Fire. We do have ways to set enemies on fire. We'll buy Tree and Cyberball. Roll again. Another Blazemander, that's exactly what we're looking for, and I'll lock this Icicle. Maybe I can get another one cursed. And we'll lock this Icicle. Maybe I can get another one cursed. Stack the enemies on top of each other because we have piercing shots, and then we kind of just obliterate them. I will, for a creature Endless run, at some point need to pick up some range. So we'll keep an eye out for like a plus 80 range upgrade, because the range penalty on the creature, normally completely irrelevant. You can just ignore that line of text. But for a really long Endless run, it will eventually stack up to the point where your weapons are really short-ranged and it becomes harder to dodge enemies. I think a really easy fix, by the way, if Evil Empire were interested in balancing range at all, is literally just double the value of everything that gives or removes range. And that would make range a much more interesting stat if it just showed up at twice the number that it usually shows up at. Then you would have to start thinking about range as a possible option. We'll take 20 attack speed here. Okay, nice. We did get a Cursed Icicle, so we'll go ahead and combine. We'll buy this Cursed one. We no longer need the level 1. We'll buy the Cursed Blazemander. Does ridiculous damage. Also, it's already dealt 69,000 damage. Nice. Another Blazemander. Great. And we'll take another Icicle, so we can level that up. Fuel Tank, I'm going to pass on. We're getting damage scaling from Curse, so we don't need to buy elemental damage. But we'll take another Celery Tea, for sure. Let's roll here. I'll take a Cursed Lost Duck, because it's cursed. We'll take the Tentacle, and then I'll roll again. And Blazemander, Corrupted Shard, and Ice Cube are all great. I'll lock the turret as well. If it gets cursed, then it's pretty nice. And either way, it's a cheap item to buy to give us a free reroll. Buying out the whole shop in endless runs is often pretty powerful because your main expenditure becomes rerolling, not buying items. So the free rerolls are really valuable. You often will want to buy level 1, like cheap items that you don't care about because it's cheaper to buy it than not to buy it. Having the cursed Black Flag, so powerful for this character, of course. The extra income that we're getting from that is ridiculously strong. Also, now that we're getting all these Blazemanders, they're starting to really add up in terms of damage output. Yeah, I'll take the snail. It's a unique, so we can get it out of the pool. Let's re-roll here and re-roll again, and I'll take 15 attack speed. Gonna re-roll again, and we'll take 7 crit chance. Everything got cursed. Amazing. So we'll definitely pick up all of this. And we'll roll here. I'll take Retromation's Hoodie. 200% attack speed, of course, is awesome. I don't need this level 2 Icicle, so we'll roll past it. I'm just looking for level 3s, or if this level 4 gets cursed, I'll buy it. We'll take the mouse here, and we'll lock a Scar. Spider, if it gets cursed, is also pretty good. So we'll lock that as well. So to boost my range, what I'm really looking for is just some level 4 level ups, like a plus 80 range level up. A couple of those would fix it. But we're also just happy playing at melee range and pretending we're a melee character. You can see it's not costing us any clear speed or anything. All the enemies are dying to our pets anyways. Okay, so they've changed the whistle sound when the loot alien spawns. It's now much more of a, like, come here kind of whistle, which I like, because now it sounds positive and not like an alert to something that should be, that you need to pay attention to or it's going to kill you. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. We'll take this. We'll take this. We'll take the small magazine as well. Attack speed is worth losing damage for. I'm going to roll a couple times here. Roll again. We'll take 5 crit chance. My weapons are already at 100% crit chance, but taking 5 crit chance here gets my pet's attacks to 100% critical. We will pick up the Icicle. Now we have a level 4 Cursed, and then we've got this one. So let's just sell the level 3. We'll buy the Cursed Icicle. We'll go ahead and buy the Scar. Spider, when it's not cursed, I'm not interested in, so we'll roll past it. We'll buy a Celery Tea here. Baby Elephant, sure. And then I'll roll a couple times and try to lock some stuff. We'll lock a Toxic Sludge and go to wave 25. Should be able to kill these elites really fast, though, again, you can see my range is now quite low, so I do want to find one range item or level up now. Since we're now lower range than a melee character, which does make it actually harder to kill stuff, and it's hurting my Pierce as well. So probably level 40, when we hit level 40, we get a guaranteed red level up, so we're going to use that to roll for range. Pretty unusual thing to spend a red level up on, but gotta do what you gotta do for the character. in part, this is because we got Retromation's hoodie, which came with a bunch of negative range. We'll recycle that. Sure, we'll take more attack speed. Glad I bought the pearls earlier as well, because now we have positive luck. Let's reroll, and we'll take 12% damage, and then here, we are rolling for an 80 range level up, if we can find such a thing. Or 60 range level up, excuse me. Man, it's only 60. I had it in my head that it was 80, which would still be not enough, but 60 is just embarrassing for a level 4 upgrade. We'll take the Blazemander, and then we'll roll here. I'll buy another Ratzilla. Don't need more HP, really, so let's keep rolling, and we'll roll again. Diploma is nice, more XP gain is great, and then I'll roll one more time. Okay, Barnacle is good as well, and then we'll lock the Penguin and Treasure Map. I'll lock the Bat, too, because if it gets cursed again, it will be very powerful. Can't believe you only get 60 range from a level 4 level up. It makes, like, no difference. Look at how little it has improved our actual range. This is why, you know, I get a lot of questions about why I so rarely buy range and don't pay attention to it. This is why. It made almost no difference to where we can attack, and we just spent one of the most valuable boosts in the game on rolling for range there. The numbers on the stat are just set way too low. It would actually be okay if you got 2 or 3 times as much when you bought it. Because having really long range, if you could just magically have really long range, then that would be fine. But when you have to spend money on it, it's terrible. It's just very inefficient. Sure, we'll take a small fish. I'll take some more move speed just for fun. I've got plenty of dodge, so let's roll here. We'll take some more attack speed. And then we'll roll again, and roll again, and I guess I'll take 2 armor. Barnacle, of course, great. 69% extra stats from level ups, so you know what that means. Cursed Icicle, we don't really care about. We'll buy this. Will-O-Wisp, we have the Blazemanders, and we have double Scared Sausage. I think only 2, right? Got one there and a cursed one somewhere. But that still means 50% of enemies that die will give us elemental damage, which is really powerful. And the Alien Worm, I don't really care about my consumable healing, so I'm going to buy the Alien Worm just for the curse. We'll lock the Shady Potion and the Propeller Hat, and I guess I'll buy the Charcoal again just for the curse. So if we stay near the cats, they should be able to gun everything down for us. Okay, so the cats are not supposed to suffer from range, because pets are not supposed to be affected by range. But I think they are for the creature. It looks like they're attacking only at really, really short range. I haven't really looked at what their range is, but I'm pretty sure it's longer than this normally. So I think there's a bug there where maybe the creature's range penalty is also affecting the pets. I'd have to compare their attack range to ones without a range penalty. There are some structures that are erroneously affected by range. Incendiary Turret, for example, is affected by your range, even though it shouldn't be. Let's roll here, and I'll take 25 more luck. And then this is another red level up, so I'm going to spend this one on range as well. And we'll roll here, and roll again, and roll again. Okay, we got 101 range that time, which is still not enough, but it's a little more like it. We'll take the bait here as well. We have no problem with that. Exoskeleton, yeah, we'll grab. We'll take a Bean Teacher. We'll take Penguin. That gets another unique item out of the pool. I'll lock the book, because we do have kind of an engineering sub-theme. And let's go to the next wave here. And we have obliterated the 2 bosses. Okay, so when we're not near the cat, it's shooting. Yeah, I think it's being affected by range because we just bought a 100 range upgrade, so now it's shooting a little further, but still not as far as I think they normally do. So it looks like the cat is bugged and is being affected by our range stat. All right, well, we know there was a loot alien, and I think I just ran it over. I didn't actually see it on the screen, but I saw that we got a loot crate. We'll recycle this. We'll take the baby elephant. We'll take the starfish for more money. We'll take glasses, because again, we're now worried about our range. I'll take 1 elemental damage, and we'll roll here. Roll again. I'll take 15 speed, just because it's kind of fun having this much speed, especially when we've got our pets. And then we'll take 5 armor, and I guess I should take 76 more range, just to try to fix that. Take the book, cauldron and eye surgery. That's 2 more unique items out of the pool. We will buy the tree. And alien tongue doesn't really do anything because we already have Sift's relic, and it's actually going to make it harder for our loot worm to get material pickups. I'll roll here. Cursed nuke launcher. That's probably fun enough to sell one of these icicles for. It's not an elemental weapon, but it's a really powerful weapon. We'll lock the panda here, and I'll roll again, and then we'll buy some cursed items and go to wave 29. Also, we have piercing shot, very powerful with explosive weapons, because it basically doubles the damage against single targets as well. It'll pierce through them and explode, and then whatever it hits on the second attack, it'll also explode, usually hitting the first thing again. So when you have piercing shots on an explosive weapon, it's super strong. And yeah, the cats, we bought another range upgrade, and the cats are now shooting even further away. So I'm pretty sure they're being affected by range. Have to do a little more testing to be certain, but it does seem that way. We're gonna recycle that. We'll take that. Sure, I'll take that. It's a unique. Didn't really need the crit chance, but it's fine. And we'll roll a couple more times, and I guess I'll take 50 range here. Roll again, we'll take 6 armor, and let's buy some more items. Pull some more uniques out of the pool. We'll get a free reroll by buying the small magazine. I'll take the gnome here. 10 elemental damage is a lot, and we'll roll. We'll buy the banner as well. Propeller hat and lemonade, definitely not ball and chain. We aren't going to buy knot either. And let's do some more re-rolling and some more purchasing. The coupon, we would have loved to find it earlier, but I'm going to stop after this wave because we're at wave 30. So we'll just roll and see what we get, and we'll go fight some more bosses. Okay, we got whale and shark and the snake boss. And there we go. We've defeated all of them. So I'm keeping an eye on the salamander. I'm looking at the one in the bottom right. It looks like they have kind of an aggro range, that they don't aggro if enemies aren't in it. Which is definitely a downside for one of the pets, because it's easy for them to get lost on the sides of the map and just not be in range of any enemies to actually fight. But I think they're still doing quite a lot of damage. Obviously, we're an elemental build, so it's a little easier for them to do a lot of damage, but nonetheless, the Blazemander, I think, is probably overall the strongest pet. We'll take a bunch more items here. Just gonna grab all of this stuff. And then let's go ahead and end the run, because we have achieved victory. Taking a look at our items here, so some really fun ones. This fish hook, very disappointing at the beginning, but it redeemed itself. We ended up with 350 curse. But let's take a look at our pets, because that's what I know we're all really excited to see how they perform. So 1,000,000 damage from the Ratzillas, compared to, we were dealing about 200,000-ish damage in a given wave. So the Ratzillas were pretty good. 250 healing from tentacles, that's kind of nice. And you saw early in the run that the first Ratzilla that we bought actually was pretty helpful. The cats only dealt 670,000. I think this is because they are bugged and were being affected by our range reduction, so they just weren't shooting as much as they were supposed to. Let's compare them to the Blazemanders. Yeah, these dealt 6.5 million damage. So the pets that were working were doing a lot better, and I think that the cats were not functioning correctly. Now, we had more Blazemanders, we had some cursed ones, whatever, but it does seem like the cats weren't working. We had 200k baby elephant, 200k damage from the baby elephant, 9 free items from treasure map, and overall just a very powerful run. We got 16 free elemental damage from the Will-O-Wisp as well. This character, of course, is always going to be super strong, but I think it's really fun that you get the extra scaling from pets, especially if you're doing a creature run with a weapon that isn't normally synergistic, then that can give you a really powerful alternate way to be able to kill enemies. Alright, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this run, and of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.